Hi everyone, I want to put out a brief mini lesson on how to write up your final statistical results and analyses in APA format. So this is really important as we move forward with the t-test, the ANOVAs, correlations, regressions, any statistical analysis that you can think of, you can write it up in this format, and it is widely accepted as how to write up statistical analyses. And there is a correct way to do it. So this is the APA format to do that. It's pretty straightforward too. You don't have to add a lot of flair or glam or anything like that. So I'm going to jump down here to the first example just so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. Then we'll kind of break it down here. Okay, adolescent males. Mean equals 14.67. Standard deviation 2.35. We're expected to score significantly higher on a measure of regression than were adolescent females. Mean 9.65. Standard deviation 1.59. An independent t-test was used to test the hypothesis leading to the rejection of the null hypothesis. Adolescent males were significantly more aggressive than were adolescent females. T equals 3.93, P less than 0.05. Okay, so some really important stuff here. Let's read the second one too. We might as well just read the second one. This stuff is all made up, by the way. Example number 2, we're using an ANOVA here. In this, we're using an independent t-test. It was hypothesized that people who own different cars, including sports cars, mean 15.3, standard deviation 2.16, pickup trucks, mean 13.1, standard deviation 1.34, and minivans 10.23, standard deviation 2.21, would vary significantly in the personality variable extroversion. A one-way ANOVA was conducted and the null hypothesis was retained. People who drive sports cars, pickup trucks, and minivans do not vary significantly with regards to extroversion. F equals 2.3, P equals 0.05. And I'm sorry, this should be rounded to the hundredths, so that should be, something like 2.31. My apologies on that. Okay, so let's break down what are all in these little paragraphs here. We state the hypothesis that was tested. That's the first thing you see here. Adolescent males were expected to score significantly higher. It was hypothesized that people who own different cars, then we write that out. Check. Mean and standard deviation should be in italics and their numbers in regular font. So the first time you mention the groups, adolescent males, mean and standard deviation. Adolescent females, mean and standard deviation. The different types of vehicles, means and standard deviations. What's really important, the mean, the M, the SD is in italics. The numbers themselves are in regular font. That is important. That is an important detail. If you guys go to graduate school or something like that, you'll definitely, get big points taken off for those minor details. And there will be an issue in this class too because it's the right format. Okay. We also clearly state the comparison groups, in each males and females and the different types of vehicles. State what test was used. So in this one, an independent t-test was used. You can see the T is italicized. A one-way ANOVA was conducted. Okay, so we state the test that was used. What decision did we make? Now we need to make the statement. So did we reject or retain the null hypothesis? So retaining is equivalent to failing to reject. So in this one, it clearly states leading to the rejection, the null hypothesis was retained. Okay. All right. Then next we have, were the results significant or not significant? Make a concluding statement based on the results. So you need some sort of statement that kind of summarizes what was found or what was not found. So this one is very clear. Adolescent males were significantly more aggressive than adolescent females. People who drive sports cars, pickup trucks, and minivans do not vary significantly with regards to extroversion. Okay, so it's not enough just to say that the hypothesis was retained or rejected. Because it's not, that's great and we need that, but it's not telling us what does that mean. The statements that we have here that I just read to you actually tell us what that means. Then lastly, the actual test statistic. So this is the test statistic here. This is the test statistic here. is a mouthful. But I won't go through what each thing here means because we haven't got to t-tests or ANOVAs yet. But all the proper information is there based on that test statistic. You can see that the test statistic is italicized, and the significance indicator is there too. So this was significant. This finding, we rejected the null hypothesis, and in this one we retained or failed to reject the null hypothesis. So you can see that p is greater than 0.05, not significant. All right, so that is a basic rundown, guys. Now, those are two different types of statistical analyses, whether we're doing z-tests, correlations, regressions, two-way ANOVAs, paired sample t-tests, whatever the t-tests, whatever the statistical analysis, you can fit it into this kind of format. So I would just really recommend that you go through each step. The last step is the reporting the effect size. I know we don't have effect size for each one of these studies, and usually number 6 won't apply to our class. It doesn't apply to a lot of studies either. Oftentimes the effect size isn't computed. Okay, so I just went over these important notes too. No matter what statistical tests, we can use this basic shell. Got to italicize what needs to be italicized. These steps should be followed closely. So again, you don't have to be fancy. You don't have to do anything special. If you write your statistical analysis out or your write-up, and then you read these and you see that yours has extra stuff in it, then you should probably edit it and make it fit this. And again, this isn't because this is the way I like it. It's because this is what the psychological community uses as a guide to write up their statistical results. I'm having a hard time talking this morning. So I hope that helps, guys, with how to do the basic write-ups. Sometimes your homework will ask for this, sometimes it won't. Sometimes the exams will ask for it, sometimes it won't. But when it says do a statistical write-up or write up your results, this is what that means. And this is what I'll be hoping to see. And hopefully you guys get a feel for it and feel more and more confident with it. Feel free to email me with any questions about it, guys, and I'll talk to you all soon.